It is the most dangerous spell in the human language. 2 words, 6 letters. I am fine. You say it to your mother. You say it to your partner. You say it to the reflection in the mirror at 3 in the morning when your chest feels like it is being crushed by a hydraulic press. But what if I told you that this phrase is not a statement of fact? It is a distress signal. It is a code encrypted so deeply that even the sender has forgotten how to decipher it. You believe you are being strong. You believe you are being stoic. But biologically, you are terrified. You are not a fortress. You are a time bomb ticking in a crowded room. Picture this scenario. You are drowning in the middle of the ocean. The water is filling your lungs. Your legs are numb from treading water for days. A boat pulls up beside you. A hand reaches out. The person on the boat asks, "Are you okay?" And you look up from the freezing water. You smile, and you say, "I am fine. I am just swimming." Why do you do this? Why do you choose the cold water over the warm boat? Why is the prospect of being saved more terrifying than the certainty of drowning? Welcome to the psychology of the high-functioning repressor. Society applauds you. They call you low maintenance. They call you reliable. They call you the rock. But geology tells us that rocks are formed under immense pressure over thousands of years. And if you hit them at the right angle, they do not bend. They shatter. Today we are going to look at the cracks in your geology. We are going to dissect why you refuse to be human. And we are going to teach you how to drop the shield before it crushes you under its own weight. Welcome to the truth. This is the watched hour. Let us begin with the biological hardware. To understand the person who always says I am fine, we must look at the vagus nerve. This is the superhighway of your nervous system connecting your brain to your body. In a healthy person, the vagus nerve regulates connection. It allows for what psychologists call social engagement. You feel stress, you reach out, you receive comfort, the stress dissolves. This is the natural cycle, but your cycle is broken. You are stuck in what neuroscience calls a functional freeze state. This is not fight or flight. This is the dorsal vagal shutdown. It is the biological equivalent of playing dead. When a gazelle is caught in the jaws of a lion, it goes limp. It numbs the pain. It dissociates to make the end bearable. You are walking through life in the jaws of the lion, but the lion is your own unaddressed trauma. And your numbness, your infinite capacity to be fine, is just you playing dead, hoping the threat will lose interest. But there is a darker psychological architecture at play here. It is called hyper-independence. This is not the healthy independence of a sovereign adult. This is a trauma response. Somewhere in your history, usually in the developmental years, you learned a brutal lesson. You learned that need equals danger. Perhaps you had parents who were emotionally absent. Perhaps you were the parent-iffy child forced to raise yourself and your siblings. You learned that if you expressed a need, you were either ignored, mocked, or worse. You became a burden to the very people who were supposed to protect you. So you made a vow, a silent blood oath with your own shadow. I will never need anyone again. I will become a self-contained ecosystem. I will be fine. This creates a psychological armor known as counter-dependency. You do not just avoid help, you despise it. When someone tries to help you, you feel a spike of irritation. You feel patronized. Why? Because your brain interprets intimacy as a loss of control. If I let you help me, I am giving you leverage. I am giving you the power to hurt me. And since I cannot survive being hurt again, I will not let you help me. I will stay in the cold water, because the cold water is predictable. The hand reaching out is a variable, and you hate variables. Carl Jung, the master of the unconscious, spoke of the persona, the mask we wear to interface with the world. For most people, the mask is thin. They take it off when they get home. But for you, The mask has fused to the skin. You have become the strong one, the problem solver, the therapist for your friends. You are the dumping ground for everyone else's chaos. But your chaos has nowhere to go. It accumulates in the basement of your psyche, turning into black mold. Toxic, silent, spreading. You suffer from a condition called alexithymia. It is Greek for no words for emotions. You have suppressed your needs for so long that you have actually severed the neural pathways that identify them. Someone asks how you feel, and your mind goes blank. You are not lying when you say I am fine. You genuinely cannot feel the knife in your back because you have severed the nerves. This is efficient for a soldier in the trenches. It is catastrophic for a human being trying to live a life. Because if you cannot feel sadness, you cannot feel joy. You are living in a permanent grayscale, a flat line of existence. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "The thought of suicide is a great consolation. By means of it one gets through many a bad night." This sounds morbid, but it speaks to the control you crave, knowing you have an exit. Even if that exit is just shutting down, gives you a sense of power. But this power is a trap. You are not controlling your emotions. Your emotions are controlling you from the shadows. They manifest as physical symptoms. The migraine that won't go away, the chronic fatigue, the tightness in the jaw. The body keeps the score, and your body is losing the game. Let us look at the social dynamics of the person who is always fine. You think you are being selfless. You think you are protecting others from your burden. But I want you to consider a terrifying possibility. What if your silence is actually an act of aggression? What if your refusal to be vulnerable is a form of dominance? By never needing anyone, you place yourself above them. You become the god in the relationship, the provider, the savior, but never the saved. This creates an imbalance. It denies your loved ones the opportunity to love you back. Love is an exchange. It is a flow. By building a dam, you are turning the river into a stagnant swamp. You are not protecting them. You are starving them of connection, and eventually they will leave. Not because you were too much, but because you were not there at all. You were a hologram, perfect, untouchable, and completely empty. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, faced exile and death with dignity, but he did not pretend it did not hurt. He wrote letters to his friends expressing his grief. True Stoicism is not the absence of emotion. It is the mastery of emotion. You cannot master what you do not acknowledge. You are not being a Stoic. You are being a statue. And statues do not move. Statues do not grow. Birds shit on statues. Now let us go deeper into the shadow. Why do you cling to this identity so tightly? Because being the victim is painful, but being the martyr is intoxicating. There is a secret pleasure in your suffering. You look at others falling apart and you think, look at how weak they are. Look at how strong I am. This is the ego protecting itself. It is a defense against your own feelings of inadequacy. If I am the one carrying the world, then I matter. If I put the world down, who am I? This is the Atlas complex. Atlas carried the sky not because he wanted to, but because he was punished by Zeus. You are punishing yourself for a crime you did not commit. You are punishing yourself for the crime of being human. Put the sky down. It will float without you. The world will not stop spinning if you take a nap. The sun will not burn out if you admit you are sad. So how do we dismantle the fortress without destroying the occupant? We need a protocol, a mechanism of transformation. We call this the 5% leak. Do not try to tear down the wall in one day. That will trigger a panic response. Your amygdala will scream. Instead, we are going to drill a small hole. We are going to let out just 5% of the pressure. Here is the practical application. Identify one person in your life who has earned the right to see you. Just one. It could be a friend, a partner, a mentor. The next time they ask how you are forbidden from using the F word. You cannot say fine. You cannot say good. You cannot say okay. You must give them 5% of the truth. You do not have to confess your deepest childhood trauma. Just say, I am feeling a bit drained today, or I am feeling anxious about this project. That is it. Watch what happens. The sky will not fall. The person will not run away. In fact, they will lean in. They will feel relieved, because finally, they are talking to a human being and not a PR press release. This is exposure therapy for the soul. You are retraining your nervous system to understand that vulnerability does not equal death. You are rewriting the code that says need equals danger. You are learning that need equals connection. Let us look at the architecture of trust. You do not trust anyone. That is the hard truth. You say you do, but your actions betray you. Trust is not saying I know you will not hurt me. Trust is saying I know you might hurt me, but I will survive it. You have no faith in your own resilience. You think you are glass, but you are anti-fragile. The term coined by Nassim Taleb. Anti-fragile things gain strength from disorder. Your heart is a muscle. It needs to be torn to grow back stronger. If you protect it in a box, it will atrophy. It will wither. And one day you will open the box and find nothing but dust. So here is your mission. Should you choose to accept it, forge a new identity. Not the victim, not the martyr, but the sovereign vulnerable. The warrior who takes off his armor, not because the war is over, but because he is not afraid of the arrow. He knows he can heal. He knows the scar is tougher than the skin. Stop saying I am fine. It is a boring lie. Be interesting. Be real. Be messy. The world has enough polished surfaces. It has enough filters. It is starving for texture. Be the glitch in the matrix of perfection. Be the one who admits they are lost, because only the person who admits they are lost has any hope of being found. You are not fine. You are alive. You are hurting. You are healing. You are becoming. And that is infinitely better than being fine. We are Mind Ministry, and we are watching.